This was the message we left you with at the end of last season.
It's a victory, we'll come again. Take it always right on to the end. Maybe someday we'll see it cut in stone. Victory will never stop, like the cream that rise on to the top. Maybe someday we'll see it cut in stone. Cut in stone.
And we weren't wrong, were we? There'd been some changes during close season. Gudjon Thordarson's contract had been reduced to 1 year. David Kevin replaced Nigel Pearson as coach. And 4 new faces arrived for the promotion push. Captain Peter Handyside, Jurgen van Derzen, and these two, skillful striker Peter Hoekstra and Belarusian defender Sergei Staniuk, complete of course with interpreter. 2 very different seasons lay ahead for this duo. After a pre-season tour of Austria, it was time for the friendlies, and Leicester paid a visit to the Britannia Stadium and got off to a flying start. Undaunted, Gunnarsson made his presence felt to provide Cook with an opening. In the second half, Gavin Ward was responsible for keeping Stoke's deficit down. But there was no stopping this effort after the offside trap was sprung. Stoke 0, Leicester 2. Ravenelli's Derby County wouldn't get such an easy ride, and although goalless, Stoke had plenty of chances, with Hoekstra showing some early promise. Transfer listed James O'Connor combined with Bjarni Gudjonsson in the second half and couldn't have come closer to getting on the scoresheet.
Yeah, I thought we played quite well actually, and improvement from last game. We've been working with certain things since we played Leicester, and I thought we proved the point here today actually. The shape was good and we looked solid.
2 wins, 2 defeats, equally split home and away, with a dramatic penalty shootout thrown in for good measure. They were the ingredients for August. No Stoke goals, no Brynjar Gunnarsson, a blonde Gavin Ward, and plenty of controversy marked Stoke's opener at QPR. Hoekstra was looking for his debut goal from a parried Gudjonsson shot, but was closer to providing a chance for Thorne. On 23 minutes, Stoke were looking for an offside flag as Andy Thomas slipped the ball past Ward. Seven minutes later, Peter Thorne wasn't looking for an official's intervention and was adamant that his disallowed goal didn't come from an intentional handball. QPR 1, Stoke City 0. Perseverance was the order of the day when Northampton visited the Britannia, as Andy Cook missed 2 good chances in the first half and this one in the second. But the ever-committed Cook and a near 13,000 crowd got their reward on 52 minutes, courtesy of Hoekstra. An ever-popular sight, the first goal of the season, and it was only a 2-minute wait for the next. A beautiful Gudjonsson cross was skillfully directed into the net by Thorne. Stoke 2, Northampton 0, and Andy Cook took a philosophical view about his role in the game.
Well, apart from being rubbish, it's just one of them days, wasn't it, I think? Missed a few chances, but like I say, at least we're getting in positions to get some chances, and at least got one in the second half.
Whilst on the subject of chances, how about this one from Thorderson in the first round of the Worthington Cup against Oldham? Captain Handyside got his marching orders for a professional foul in the 101st minute, but Stoke held on through extra time to face a penalty shootout. 1-0 to Oldham. (2-0 to Oldham). Gudjonsson pulls one back and Cutler is enjoying his full senior debut. A confident Clark makes it 2-2. 3-2 for Oldham. Van Derzen next. Three all. This sort of tension's usually reserved for the end of the season. A miss by Oldham and a chance for Thomas. (4-3) Oldham, and up steps Chris Iwelumo. (4 all). Cutler presents Cook with his chance. (5-4) Oldham, despite Cutler's best efforts. A textbook penalty from Hoekstra. 5 all. It's 6-5 to Oldham, and it was close to 20 minutes to 11 when Carl Henry, another player making his full senior debut, stepped up, knowing he had to score. It was a cruel way to end a superb debut, and the manager made his thoughts clear.
I mean, Carl Henry didn't kick us out of this competition. If the players had played with his attitude and his commitment and his enthusiastic out on the pitch for the 130 minutes, we wouldn't be out of this competition.
It was a blistering hot day in Cambridge, especially for 1,000 Stoke fans crammed into a small area of terracing. Stanhope didn't exactly lower temperatures. Having already been booked, he got a bit over-exuberant and left the referee with only one option. Extreme humidity and 10 men didn't make Stoke look a good bet, but Rowson's cross 3 minutes into the second half supplied more evidence of why Lenny Lawrence wanted Thorne to join Kavanagh at Cardiff. But for now, he remained a Potter. Thorne was involved again after 51 minutes as he flicked on for Cook to make it 2. Some excellent football by Stoke wasn't reflected in the scoreline when they entertained Tranmere. Wayne Thomas looked justifiably aggrieved at not being awarded a penalty in the 11th minute after a body check from Clint Hill. And to rub salt into the wound, it was Hill who opened the scoring for Tranmere 2 minutes later. Stoke were producing chances, but a superb performance from Tranmere keeper Joe Murphy was keeping them at bay. Murphy carried his good form into the second half, and on 89 minutes Flynn rose above Thomas to make it 2-0 to Tranmere. Peter Thorne was awarded a penalty kick in injury time, but it came too late to put Stoke amongst the points. Stoke City 1, Tranmere Rovers 2. The result of August's endeavours saw Stoke in 10th place, above the Vale and Cardiff, with Colchester and Brentford taking the top spots. September was the month Stoke had to get used to life without Peter Thorne, and they didn't make a bad job of it. 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. It was hello to an old Stoke favourite, and although we didn't know it at the time, goodbye to a current one when Huddersfield visited the Britannia. Stoke were without Handyside, but Brynjar Gunnarsson made a welcome first appearance of the season, although he couldn't prevent Lou Macari's high-flying Huddersfield taking the lead through Schofield in the 32nd minute. And it looked like that was how it was going to stay until the 3rd minute of injury time, when Thorne found Thorderson, who played it to Iwelumo, who laid it off for Thorne to rifle into the top corner. It was his 4th successive league goal of the season and would prove to be his final one for the Potters. Stoke City 1, Huddersfield Town 1.
And really it was no surprise near the end when the one man who I didn't want to see with the ball at his feet popped up and scored. I was hoping he'd gone to Cardiff yesterday and was out of the way.
It's going to be obvious to everybody that if Thorne is leaving us, that's going to give us a lot of difficulties. But if the board decides that, I've got to try to do the best out of the position.
Well, Thorne did go to Cardiff for 1.7 million, and it wasn't a popular decision for either fans or manager. So Stoke's performance at home to widely tipped promotion candidates Reading was vital, and it turned out to be a very pleasant afternoon. Hoekstra, who'd been moved into a striker's position, provided the cross for Gudjonsson. The manager wanted more of the same, but it was already proving too much for some. When Gunnarsson wasn't chasing down the opposition in midfield, he was chasing down a goal. A perfectly timed run and a precision pass from Hoekstra released Cook goalward. "29 minutes gone, 2-0 Stoke. Hoekstra fancied getting onto the score sheet himself, and the keeper was well beaten, but alas, not the post. In the second half, Stoke were rampant, and it's fair to say the score could easily have been 5 or 6. Substitute Thorderson was warming to the occasion. But it was Hoekstra who really shone, and with the departure of one Peter, the Britannia rang to the name of another.
We played simple in the midfield and we had a lot of chances. I think the crowd enjoyed it.
Today, I think with the amount of work we've put in, we've made our own look, and you know, it's all come together on I think a fantastic day of football for Stoke City.
Brighton had gone 10 games unbeaten when Stoke visited the Withdean Stadium, and a competitive match would end in disappointment for the Potters. In the 94th minute, Ward skewed his punch and Watson fired home the only goal of the game. Ward insisted he'd been impeded by 2 offside players, but Brighton took the 3 points to go top, and that punch would be a defining moment in Gavin Ward's Stoke career. Bury were at the opposite end of the table to Brighton and had lost their last 7 games. Neil Cutler made his league debut in preference to Ward. A neat build-up on 31 minutes finished with Van Derzen claiming his first league goal after converting O'Connor's initial effort. He was delighted, and so were the 2,000+ travelling fans. The hunt was still on for Thorne's natural successor, so when Hoekstra broke down in the warm-up for the home clash with Colchester, the as yet inconsistent Thorderson had a chance to impress. His opening contribution was a penalty decision after 18 minutes. Wasn't taking any chances, was he? Unfortunately, Gudjonsson couldn't convert it, and Stoke would have to wait until the 44th minute to break the deadlock. A fabulous coup cross was met by Van Derzen to claim his second goal in 4 days. 1-0 Stoke. A brilliant finish, but the quality of the cross wasn't lost on the manager. In the second half, it was Gudjonsson this time presenting Thorderson with a goal-scoring opportunity, and it was one he gladly accepted on 57 minutes. Neil Cutler was still first-choice keeper, and he was repaying the manager's faith in him. The 90th minute of the game, and Thorderson was still buzzing as he stole past the defender and powered the ball past keeper Woodman. The only frustration was, why wasn't he doing this every week? Stoke 3, Colchester 0. Over 14,000 supporters came to watch in-form Stoke take on Bournemouth, and they weren't disappointed. A Clark goal line clearance was converted into attack, and Sean Marr very kindly slotted home Gudjonsson's cross in the 9th minute. Wayne Thomas popped up a minute after the break to claim his first of the season from a parried Staniuk header. Stoke 2, Bournemouth 0. There was a potential problem in the 71st minute when Van Derzen tangled with Feeney and earned himself a yellow card and Bournemouth a penalty. It was a 3rd Bournemouth penalty in successive seasons at the Britannia, and Cutler followed in the footsteps of Muddleton and Ward by saving it. Stoke claimed a 2-0 victory, and also the nationwide's best defensive record after conceding only 5 goals in 11 league and cup games. And Neil Cutler was enjoying his new fan club.
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, the fans are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I mean, when I was at Villa, the fans were good there, but these are absolutely magnificent.
And you're now in the top 6, so that must please you.
It pleased me, but still a lot to do and still a long way to go. We've got to make sure we keep our feet on the floor and keep working.
Stoke had charged up the table, 3 points behind the top 2 with a game in hand.